Hey Warren, another point on the board. Unbeaten in 7, they're the positives, but ultimately a little bit frustrating tonight.
Yeah, it was, to be honest. I said to the boys before the game, this will be the hardest game of the season. I've been in it myself from, the big game Saturday. We've had a tough month. And I said this is where, you've got to dig in these games, and whether it takes the 90 minutes, but you've got to see it through. It wasn't us tonight, we didn't have the urgency, we didn't have the tempo. We looked a wee bit sluggish. We're off the pace, and then at times when we did get our foot on the ball, listen, we still had enough chances to win the game. Thought Miles' game was outstanding. He pulled off 2 big saves in the last 5 minutes. But at the end of the day, I can't be too critical on them. I told them, look, boys, it's disappointing where we are, but you've come in, you're still unbeaten. It's a point. You haven't lost the game, and as I said, Hess gets his players playing. They're on the back of a fantastic result on Saturday. They've changed the formation, and teams are going to come here now and have a game plan. They're going to fight, and look, at the end of the day, fair play to them. They kept going at us as well, and as I said, you thought a draw was a fair result.
Yeah, I was going to say, for the longest time in that game, they were more than happy to sit off of it for a 0-0, and that sort of shows where this team's at, doesn't it? That team Dover, obviously they've had their troubles in the last couple of years, but they've come down from the National League. They still a decent side, a good manager, but they came here and they tried to stop us from playing, and they were happy enough with a point.
No, we knew it was going to be a tough game because the way, as I said, we've had them watched a few times and they've changed it up, and Andy as a player has always had a bit of bite, enthusiasm, energy, and he'll get them out of his players. We're disappointed, obviously, being at home, but as I said, I'm not too critical because of I've been in these games myself, and people just think you're going to turn up. You've got to get through it. You've got to show the energy, the enthusiasm. And on another night, one of the chances, with enough chances to win the game, and the players are adamant that there should have been a penalty kick. I haven't seen it myself, but they're saying there was two handballs in a row. So I'd like to look at that again, but at the end of the day, look, I can't knock the ref. I thought he was decent tonight. And as I said, it's one of those games, we're not beat, you got to put it to the back of our mind quickly and move on to the big game Saturday.
You mentioned Miles Roberts already, but just another mention for him. Obviously, didn't have too much to do in 85 minutes, and then to pull off 3 saves towards the end. That really shows that he can spring into action, how good he is, and that's back-to-back man of the matches for him as well.
Yeah, it is, and this is my problem with what I say to the boys. You're going to get games like this, but it's concentration levels for 90 plus minutes, and Miles didn't have. I don't think he had a save to make until he picked the ball out of the net in the 80th minute, and then he had 3 big saves to make in the last 5 minutes. Look, he's a fantastic kid, and I mean that. I phoned Jerome Thomas today and his agent Matt Murray, and I said to them, for me, he's playing 2 levels up, but it looks as if he's at 300 games behind the ball. And I know he prides himself on clean sheets, and that's the big thing that disappoints me, because we've been fantastic with clean sheets. Yes, you're going to concede goals. We did on Saturday, but tonight, it was a big mistake by us. And you'd have took that, and as I say, that was a disappointing thing to concede the goal the way we did. If someone cuts inside, puts it in the top corner, you give them a round of applause, but to concede what a class is a schoolboy goal is a disappointing thing today.
Do you put that down to concentration levels again? Obviously, having just gone ahead, and then just mind slip a little bit.
You see it at the top level. You seen it last night at the England game, and I keep saying, whenever you score a goal, the next 5 minutes is the most crucial, because concentration levels, people go gun-ho, people get excited, people start chasing balls down, taking themselves out of the game. And I said that's all it is. It's game management and a severe lack of concentration from us. And as I say, it's cost us, but look, I'm not too critical on them, because the boys have been fantastic. I think it's 8 games this month. We're unbeaten, and we'll move on to Saturday.
And obviously, Saturday's attention turns to the FA Cup. An important game for the club, important game for the lads. I mean, you saw against Fisher, didn't make too many changes in those games, and I guess it's going to be the same again.
Yeah, definitely. I've just got to look at a couple of them to see, obviously, with the amount of games and see if fatigue sets in. But as I said, I built my fitness in pre-season around 40 to 60 to 50 plus games. I think we'll look strong in the last lot of games, but we'll see who's carrying niggles, and we're in for a tough game on Saturday.
Just mentioned that Aaron Barnes was missing tonight. That was the only change from the starting 11. Is that something to be concerned about this weekend, or was he doing?
No, it is. He's touch and go. Aaron, he's hurt his hamstring, which you've got to be careful with because, obviously with him you don't want him to be out for longer. So we had to look at it, and it's probably with a few of the boys, with the amount of games we've had and a transition from part-time players into, people say full-time. It's not really full-time. It's still in that go-between, but. As I say, that's important to get the pre-season, and the last 8 games, like anyone else, is difficult, but it's one that we're not scared of. We'll get on with it, and that's why we just with Barnes, he had a little tight hammy, so we've just got to be careful with it.